Hi everyone, welcome to admin training for LeagueApps platform overview and tips and tricks. Today we'll be going over a couple of dashboard overviews and just basic admin training. My name is Anki. I am a customer support specialist here at LeagueApps. I graduated from Stony Brook University on Long Island. And yeah, I've always grown up with sports. Youth sports is very near and dear to my heart. It was the way that I connected and made new friends when I was younger. My dad had us move around a lot, practically every year or two. So it was very hard to be in new schools and new settings, but sports was definitely my outlet, and it was a very great way for me to develop a sense of confidence in myself and to make new friends. So now I enjoy a lot of hiking, going on adventures, exploring new places. This is a picture of me in Zion National Park last year. It was pretty phenomenal. If you can go, I would definitely recommend it. All right, so let's take a look at today's agenda. So today's overview will be a general rundown of the dashboard. We do have a new theme on the dashboard, so some things have been changed around, and I'm just going to go over and kind of refresh everyone's idea of how the dashboard works. And then we're going to go into how to manage your account. Again, it's just a general overview. And we're going to go into some tips and tricks about what I've learned at my time here at LeagueApps that would help a lot of organizers. All right, so we're going to start right with the dashboard overview. So we're going to start from the top. The first thing that you've noticed is probably this navigation toolbar has changed. I believe on the old theme it was blue and on the right hand side here, but now it is at the top. So you're going to see the manage, messaging, reporting, content, design, connect, and your settings toolbar. Right on the right hand side next to that, you're going to see a little magnifying glass. This is our new search bar. So from here, you're able to search your members. So we're gonna search my colleague, Brittany. I'm sure you guys all know her already. So we're gonna search for her, and you can search her by last name if you need to, and it'll pull up everyone with the last name done. So the cool thing about the search bar is if you fill in the first name, it will kind of auto-populate members, emails, and invoices for you. You still can search by last name, but it won't do that auto population function for you. So we're gonna go back to the dashboard. And now on the left-hand side here, you're going to see the little LeagueApps logo. If you click on here, it'll bring you directly back to this page. So you can go into any other page that you're looking at. This is actually a cool tip. And you click this L, it'll bring you right back to the dashboard. On the left-hand side, you can always also see all of your subsites in one. And this new little monitor button is going to be your new view site button. So once you click this, it'll pop up a new window and it'll show you the front page of your website. And then, so we're gonna go into your main dashboard right here. So under membership, this is going to show you all of the members that you have in your organization under this subsite. So it's going to show you your adult members, your child members, and any active members that you have. In the what's happening section, you're going to be able to see live updates on what is happening in either today, the past 7 days, the past 30 days, the next 7 days, and the next 30 days. So you can play around with this as much as you want. This number will change and update, I believe, as you refresh the page and as people come in and register for that day. All right, and moving on to the quick links section, we decided that it would be beneficial to give you a couple of quick links here to help you just click one button and then reach out to your members. You can reach out via posting an announcement. You can click here via your master schedule instead of coming all the way up here to look for the particular page. And you can even create a new program via this little button right here. That in itself will be another webinar that we're going to have in the future. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested. And we're going to move on to program summary. So this area is only your live and upcoming programs. It will not include your unpublished and completed programs. So this invoice number, again, only for live and upcoming programs and registrations. So this invoice number, if it changes, don't be afraid. It's likely that a program has been marked completed or closed, people will call it. So yeah, so if this number changes drastically, don't worry about it. You'll be able to find that information under all programs and under a completed view. You're paid, this is the amount paid to your invoices, and this is the amount outstanding for your invoices. It'll tell you how many teams you have total for all your programs and how many registrations you have total. On the right-hand side here, you'll be able to see how many live programs you have, how many upcoming, how many programs with open registrations, and how many unpublished programs. So now this area, the top programs, is going to be pretty much the star of the show here. This is where all of your live and upcoming programs will populate in a chart where it'll be easy for you to access this information that you need, right? Instead of going into each individual one and then pulling a report, you're able to kind of see a general rundown of each of these programs. I believe this current one is listed in order of amount invoiced. So you'll be able to kind of see your top invoice programs. You can also change and update this information, and I'll show you in a little bit after we go through the entire dashboard. From here, you can also click this little plus button. It'll maximize this list here and show you the sub-programs within this master program right here. So you can click under class, there's baseball skills, basketball skills. So this is an easy way for you to navigate into programs and sub-programs without needing to go into the giant program list and looking for it. All right, so the next thing we can find here is the product updates. So we post release notes, I believe, about once a month. So definitely keep an eye out here, keep looking through it. We definitely try our best to kind of keep you guys updated on the cool updates that we have for the product and the stuff that we release for it. The help and support section. So this is where you would go if you need support, if you need help. We're always here to help you guys. So you are welcome to send us a message at support@LeagueApps.com. Alternatively, you can actually view all of these webinars that we've created and recorded for you guys if you need to. And we also have a very generous help site that does have a lot of articles that you guys can look through. And like I said, if you look through the article and you still have questions, definitely reach out to us at support@LeagueApps.com. Alternative solution for this section, you can also click on this little support button at the top, bottom right hand corner. And if you click on it, it'll come up as kind of like a detailed message feature, right? So you'll just enter your name. My name is Anki. My email address is ankiyoung@gmail.com. And type in your message. So let us know what's wrong. The more information you can provide here, the better, and the faster we can help you resolve the problem. So definitely provide as much detail as you can with the issue that you're having or the question that you have for us. And then once you click send message, that'll come directly to us on the support end as an email ticket, and we'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. So we also have a connection here to our LeagueApps blog. We try to update this as often as we can, as you can see. So what we like to do is send you kind of just general information of what we're working on, what the sports world is like at this current time. And you could take a look at this and just look through the articles if that interests you. All right, so that is the general overview of your admin dashboard. I do want to note that this view is dependent on your admin role. So if this view is not the exact same as you see it on your dashboard, it's likely that your admin role is not the org account owner. I'm currently logged into our demo account as the owner. So don't worry if it's not the same. Pretty much everything has all the buttons are the same. You just might not have access to certain things. All right, so from here, let's talk about how to manage your account. We're gonna go through, let me just refresh that. Okay, we're going to go through some of these navigation toolbars up here. And I'm just going to kind of give you a general rundown of what an admin would need to access on their dashboard. So under manage, you're going to be able to view all your programs. So we had briefly mentioned earlier about your completed programs. And this is a question that comes up a lot. So if you need to view your completed programs, you're going to go under manage, all programs, and you're going to just change this filter from live and upcoming to completed, and you're just going to apply this filter. And then this will bring up all of your completed programs. All right, so then the other stuff that you can look into under manage, you can manage your e-commerce products, your store, your locations, your members, the calendar, any invoices, discount codes, and credits are also under this manage tab. Under messaging, so the messaging feature and button that we have right here, compose a message, is associated with the same compose a message button here. So you can click it here or you can go to it from here. You'll be able to reach out to your members and you'll be able to kind of select members specific to our programs, members specific to I guess a gender, and then you can even email your staff members if you need to. You're also able to actually view all of the emails that you sent. So this is a really nice feature. You'll be able to view all of your sent email messages, and you're also able to kind of view the tracking details. So the tracking details will show you emails that are bounced, that are received, opened, etc. like that. You also have access to posting an announcement here, your premium settings under text messaging, and then email contacts is where you'll be able to add email contacts that for members that are not currently members of your organization yet. The next tab that we're going to look into is reporting. So from here, any reports that you need to pull, this is the page that you need to be in. You could pull reports for registrations, so you can pull the report of all of your registrations from 2020 if you'd like. Same with transactions. You could pull all of the transactions from 2020 if you need to. Another really cool thing that you could see here is if you are on LeagueApps Gateway, this is where your dashboard would be. Under content, this is where we would edit content on your website. So your pages is literally every page that is associated with your website from the front end. Your home page, your tournament listing, club teams, etc. Will be under content pages. Menu items is associated with your navigation toolbar at the front. So on the front end, it'll be this toolbar right here. So up here, this is what we call the menu items, right? The home, about us, tournaments, events. On this page, you're able to kind of reorder these. So if you wanted to switch the order of these tabs, I guess, up, you would be able to. You're also able to edit, have access to your widgets. These are widgets that you can just automatically generate and put on your front page if you need to. If you have any questions on this, obviously just you're welcome to ask, and we'd be happy to help you and give you more detail on that. And then you also have access to your mobile homepage. So this mobile homepage content, it's separate from, it's basically what you see when you go to Surf City Sport at LeagueApps.com, but when you do it on your phone instead of your web browser on your computer. The next tab that we have here is your design tab. This includes your theme editor and your skins. So this tab will bring you to the page where you can edit your site's colors, skins, fonts, images, just the general look of what your site looks like. So then the next thing we're going to run into is your Connect. So Connect is basically the section where you're going to have your integration stuff, you're going to have your API stuff. If you have API wizards on your team and they need to have access to this is where they would have to go. And there's also API documentation for them if they need it. Under integration, you're able to make integrations via Zapier, or we have direct integrations with MailChimp and some other sites too. So next part is what I would imagine is the most important part. This is your settings. This is going to be your site level settings. So under basics, you're going to have your site settings. This is going to be the place you change your domain name, you change your I guess any type of site settings that you would have, your domain name, your time zone, anything kind of on that level. So your site mode, sales tax, and other basic details that you would need to update. Your custom URL is associated with if you were to have a custom URL or domain that you want to connect to your LeagueApps domain. Another important part to kind of keep an eye out here for is your program registration settings. This is super important. This is your default registration settings, form fields, and waivers. So anything that you have in here will automatically be created with every new program that you create. If you make changes into your default registration settings and you make a program before you made those changes will not be retroactive. So this is only applied to brand new programs. Like any information that you put in here will only be applied to brand new programs that you create afterwards. You're also able to connect your social, your Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter down here. You're able to view your member profiles. So this is also super important because this is where you would be asking your general member information for when they create their accounts. You can add a specific form field if you need to. If emergency contact name and phone number is not a basic standard field that we have. So you could definitely add that if you definitely need it from the parent. Messaging, this is also a really cool tool. We're actually going to go into this in my tips section. So I'm going to skip this for now, but messaging settings, you'll be able to edit here as well. And your payment processing is also in this section. The next section that I want to show you guys is under your name here. So right now I'm in the general account right here, but under your name, if you were to click on it, you'll be able to see manage account, what's new, need help, and then log out. So we're going to click into the manage account. This is a dashboard that is associated with the organization's account. So if you don't have access to this, it's because your admin role does not provide you access to this. But this is where the owner or the admin or the org account admin would be able to go to kind of make some edits on certain things. So here they'll be able to manage their admin users, any terms of agreements for the admins you'll be able to view here. Account reports. So account reports in this section, you'll be able to view all of the invoices and transactions across all of your sites versus just one site from this section. Help and support. Here you'll be able to set up a voice line. I believe it's a voicemail feature. You'll be able to set it up with more information within this actual tab. You're also able to set up text messaging. And under account info, so here's probably the most important part of this page. The general details is where an org account admin or org account owner, I'm sorry, would edit their login information. So that's where this is. If they need to change their email, if they need to change their name, that would be the place to go. Your merchant services is basically what gateway you're set up with. If you're set up with LeagueApps Gateway, this is not too relevant for you. You can just access it from LeagueApps Gateway here. But if you were to be set up on a classic Stripe or PayPal or authorized.net gateway, sorry, you'll be able to kind of set it up here. The billing section in this page is associated with your monthly LeagueApps fees. So if you were to have monthly LeagueApps fees, this is where you would go to view your invoices and where you would be able to enter your billing information. Down here, you're able to see all of your sites kind of on one page. You're able to manage, view, and disable each one of these sites. You can also re-enable a site from here as well. All right, so that in itself, that is how a lot of admins would be able to navigate and kind of go through their day. If you have any specific questions, please feel free to ask. We do have a Q&A section at the end of this. So, all right, so I think it's time for tips and tricks. So I'm going to go through a couple of tips that I've learned in my time here, and I believe it'll help you guys get through your day a little easier. So the first things first, I mentioned that little dashboard button at the top left-hand corner to bring you back to your dashboard. So that's super easy tip right there. The next thing I wanted to go through is, especially now since it's kind of tax season, a lot of people are asking about their transactions and what they've done for the past year, etc. So reporting transactions is a wonderful place for you to be, to pull all of the transactions and the transactions that you have for this past year, basically. Transaction summary is what I wanted to show you. Once you click into this tab, you click show filters. You're able to set the date. We're going to just set it for last year so I can pull up all this information from 2020 for you. So we're going to do December 31st. I'm going to run this report. And what this is going to do is going to show me how much was paid and what was collected amongst all of my programs. And it'll be split up between the programs itself. So it'll have a very clear view of like the start date for this program, October 8th. You know, this was the amount that was collected, and this was the amount that was paid, and this was the amount that was collected. So this is a very, very cool place for you to view this information. Another tip I would like to add is we do have a login as member feature, as most of you know. This was recently updated, so I'm gonna, I guess, go through it. It's super easy. It's the same concept. You would search your member, go to their member profile, and up here you'll see login as member. So as soon as you click this, this new feature will only work in incognito or private mode. So in order to do that, you'll have to right click this button and it'll bring a drop down here. I'm going to open link in incognito window. So what that'll do is it'll log me in, but it'll open up a brand new incognito window for me. If you are on a Mac, the right click is the control button. I believe also if you are on a PC and you don't have a mouse, you can also use control from your keyboard to open up that window. All right, so that's the login as member feature. From here, you'll be able to, I'm just gonna reopen that window. You'll be able to kind of help them navigate. If you ever have a member that has an issue navigating their dashboard and they're not sure where to go, you'll be able to use this feature and come into their account directly and give them direct steps of like, oh, go into your invoices. And then instead of unpaid, click your receipts if you're looking for your receipts. And then you'll be able to view invoice details. So you'll be able to kind of give them a good step-by-step instruction on how to navigate or how to get to where they want to be. All right, awesome. So another thing that comes up a lot is how to merge members. And this is just a little bit tricky sometimes because there are a couple of things that you need to look out for before you merge a member. Because as soon as a merge is completed, we're not able to unmerge them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a situation where I have two accounts. And I'm going to use Brittany and her husband Rick as an example again because their accounts are already created on here. So the example here is that Brittany has registered her child into an account before, into a program before, and so their account is already created. And now Rick is going to come into Surf City Sports and try to register their child again for another program. However, when he did that, he created a new account and created a new child account. So now what we have is a mom account with a child and a dad account with a child. So this one child, we don't want them to have separate accounts, and we want to make sure that this family lives in the same family group, right? So what it's going to look like is this is Brittany's account, family group with her first child, or with the child. And then this is Rick's account with the child as well. So what we're going to do, obviously, is we're going to double check that this is the same child, typically by birthday. So we're going to look at the birthday here, October 31st, 2006. All right, so we're going to confirm that this is the correct child. So the first thing that we're going to do is you're going to decide which family group you want to keep. Typically, it's the one where the child has the most registrations, the most information. This is pretty much the most, this is how you'll basically know which parent is more active in managing their accounts here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Rick's family account. And this sounds scary, but it's not. We're going to just remove these two accounts from the family account. So we're going to go ahead and delete from the group account. All right, so don't worry, it's not a scary move. We're simply removing them from our group account. We're not deleting their account. So now what we're going to do is Rick and child done that was in their account is no longer in this family group. So now we can add it to the new family group. We're going to navigate back to Brittany's family group. We're going to, oops, wrong button. And we're going to add user. So we're going to add Rick first. So he's a supervisor and he's an existing user. And I find that it's easier to search by first name. Sometimes when you search the entire last name, it doesn't come up, but it always comes up when you search the first name. So now you can see that Rick has been added to the group account as a supervisor. All right, so now mom and dad are in the same group, in the same family group together, but now we have two child dones, right? So we have two child accounts for their kid. And what we're going to do is we're going to merge these two accounts. So as I had mentioned, you want to make sure that when you're merging an account that you're merging the same account, the same person. So what we're going to do is, I know that this child account is the one that I want to keep, and I know that this is a good account, right? So I'm going to go and view this account. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click merge, and I'll see here that this is the second account that is associated with this child. I'm just going to make sure that the name, the birthday is correct. And if they had an address, like, just make sure everything matches up before you click merge. So everything looks good here. I'm going to click merge. And now when I click into child done, and then the done family, now there's only one account for each of these people. So a key point I want to kind of remind you guys on when you're merging an account is you want to click the merge button from the account that you want to keep. You can also select the other one as a primary if you chose the wrong one to start with, but this is how I personally make sure I don't mess up the merge. And I always click it on the one that I want to keep. All right, so I have one more tip and trick for you, and then we're going to go into questions. So the other thing I wanted to mention here is the email settings. So this setting has actually been updated to a content editor box. You used to have to enter in HTML here, which was kind of tricky, but we did make some updates with this new theme. So this is pretty cool. From here, you can add your email content and headers. So typically, when you send out a message from LeagueApps, your email header and footer is going to be blank, even if it's an automated message. And you can definitely customize it to the way you need it to be. So you're able to insert an image. You can add a logo here if you need to. I'm not going to actually do that for you, but you're able to insert an image, or you're able to kind of add kind of like a welcome line, welcome to blank. And then you can also do that same thing with a footer here. We definitely made it easier with the content editor. If you're more comfortable entering in HTML, you're more than welcome to. You would just have to click this little button right here. But yeah, for the most part, you can edit most of the features for your content here. And then you would just save the settings. You can even preview the header and footer. It'll show you down here, and you can also send a test email. This is also where you would set up your default reply to address. So if you sent out an email from your compose a message tool to your participants and they reply to that email, their reply would go into this email account. All right, awesome. So that is it for tips and tricks for today. If you have any other questions, definitely add them to the chat. If we don't get to your questions, we're definitely going to compile a page for you guys with all the questions and answers so you guys can all see this at the end. All right, so I'm just going to dive right into the questions if that's okay. The first question is, how do you use site credit? Okay, cool. So site credit is an interesting feature. So first off, you're going to be able to manage your site credits under Manage Credits. So anyone that already has a site credit will populate in this page, all right? And you can export this if you need to. I can show you how you can add a site credit for a person. You'll go into their member account. On the left-hand side right here under Credits and Invoices, you'll be able to add a credit. So bear in mind that this amount that you see, this $30, if you were to add a credit, it's the $30 needs to be included. So let's say I want to give them a $50 credit on top of the 30. So I would have to put 80 in here. all right? And then that would represent the total amount of credits that they have. A user can see their credits when they log into their account on their dashboard. They can see their credit up here, right on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, my apologies. So they'll be able to use this credit during the registration process. And it'll show up on the registration flow, and it'll allow them, as long as you allow them to use credit for that specific program, it'll allow them to enter, like kind of check a box that says use site credit. But they won't be able to use this credit after the registration flow. So if they've already registered and they forgot to use their credit, they're not going to be able to use it. That would have to be a whole nother resolution. All right, so let's go into the next question. So when looking at invoiced versus paid and outstanding, do these include invoices that have been voided and offline? So I believe that we're talking about this section right here. So on the dashboard here, the voids are not included in the outstanding amounts. Offline payments are included in the paid total, and any invoice that has been void will not be under outstanding here. So let's see. One of my members isn't receiving emails. What can I do to fix that? So this is a pretty easy fix. You would just have to go into members, search the member. Again, I'm going to use Brittany. I'm sorry if Brittany's coming up a lot, but she's too cool not to use. So what we'll do here is we'll be able to log into their account and see what they're looking at. So for example, if they have unsubscribed, you'll see on their under their email right here, you'll see a yellow note saying that they unsubscribed to this email. So if you see that on your end, you can log in to them as a member, and under their account settings, you're going to be able to see that email status. It'll say not okay, or whatever it was marked. It was unsubscribed. But it'll be very straightforward that, you know, this email status is not okay. And you'll need to update this right here on their end and save the changes. If you do run into any issues with this, you'll have to reach out to us and we'll be able to make some edits on the back end too. But for the most part, the member can do this themselves. They can go into their account settings and update their email status at any point in time. If you see that on your end that these emails are getting bounced, it's typically something that we would have to fix on our end. So you'll be able to see under tracking actions, under status here, if you see an email that has a status of bounce, just definitely reach out to us and we'll get that updated for you guys. Can credits expire? If so, is there a setting where I can make them not expire? So yes, credits can expire if you set them to expire. So again, we're gonna go into Taylor's account this time. We're gonna go into Taylor. So again, if you add a credit, you're able to set an expiration date for your credit. But that would be the only way that it expires. How do I send a copy of their invoice showing paid? Awesome. Okay, so I had briefly went into this page earlier. Um, and I'll show you again under Brittany's account. So you're going to go into their member profile and log into their account. Um, since you're all masters of it now, I'm not going to show you again how to do it, but if you need a refresher, definitely just let me know. Um, so you're going to have them go into their invoices and they're going to be able to view their receipts and then view the invoice details directly from here. Um, I did have one partner actually ask me how they can just print this page. There is no print button associated with this direct page, but you can just, um, if you right click, you can click print and you can print this entire page, or you can save as PDF, whatever you'd like. Um, so yeah, all right. Um, cool. So it looks like that might be all the time that we have for today. Um, if I did not get a chance to answer your question, don't worry. We will send out a compiled list of all the questions that were asked during this webinar and with all the information um, to help you answer those questions. And yeah, so I guess want to say thank you for joining us today, and I hope you guys have a great day.